Alrighty, and so hi everybody. This video is obviously going to be a little bit different. I haven't got any new figures, and I don't know when I'll be getting them. I know I say that like every time, but you know, that's just the truth. I'm really bad at paying attention to those kind of things. So instead I figured I would kind of work on something that I'd been holding off for a while, which was like, you know, just further decorating my desk. You can see there's like the old drawings that I've had on there, and they're really old, like from high school, middle school even. And I think it just looked kind of empty, so I decided to kind of fill it out instead of just having this whole white table. Now you can see there's kind of a lot that I ended up being ambitious about. I thought that I was going to be doing like a whole table, but that is not what happened. Yeah, I thought that I was going to be doing a lot more, but you know, I mean, there was too much space for me to work on. So I started working on two sketches here, both of them from my D&D group. We actually have two campaigns that we're running right now. One is like traditional D&D, like we're doing Curse of Strahd, and then the other is like a more superhero kind of one. The bird is actually the one I use for Curse of Strahd, and the other girl, she is for the superhero one. Like I said, I thought I was going to do a lot more, but it just didn't end up happening. Now, also something to preface for this video, and I do apologize because it happens a couple times. There's a couple camera cuts for a various amount of reasons. The first reason we run into, which we just had, the power went out twice yesterday for no reason. There was no thunderstorm or anything. I don't know if it was like a heat storm kind of thing. It was just too much. I don't know. But it went out twice, which was fun. The first time the power went out before I even started the video. Like I literally set up my whole desk for like 30 minutes and then the power went out and I was like, well, that's great. And then the second time was when it cut ahead. So we don't get to see Gilda finish. That's my bird, but you know. And then a couple times too, my video camera, or I guess my phone, just completely cut out. It really stunk because I just didn't know when it would do it, or you know what would end up happening. And then the third reason, there were a couple times when I would pause my video because I knew my phone battery was also getting low, and then I would forget to put the video back on. Luckily you don't miss too much, and it's a speed draw anyways, so it's, you know, you miss like a couple little seconds. I know it just like super jumped to her face being colored, but you know, what are you gonna do? Now you're gonna see me work a lot on her skin. Her skin ended up looking really lumpy because it's been a long time since I've drawn with ink on my table. I used to know this kind of stuff, but then I just forgot. You have to put the main, or like the lighter colors first and then put the darker colors after. So when you do stuff traditionally, usually when I do this stuff, I would put ink down first, like the black inking. But when you do that with markers on a table, especially Sharpies, they end up pulling the black with them, because this is a very smooth surface and it ends up blending and making really weird colors and textures, and it just makes her skin look lumpy, like she, you know, like a burn victim almost, which, you know, she's a superhero, so maybe she had a bad incident, but you know, it just ended up sticking. I had to come back to that a lot, and I managed to get it to work in enough of a way where I think it was still okay, but she definitely still looks kind of lumpy. Now, for this character, I'm gonna be completely honest. Like, while I might be creative, I tend to obviously take inspiration from a lot of things. This was just straight up kind of like OC design stuff. She's basically like my own JoJo character. Her name is Johanna. She looks like Yukako. She's got like a blue schoolgirl outfit. She's got big long black hair. I gave her like a Jotaro-esque hat where it's going to end up kind of fading into her back hair. In the game too, I made her have a stand who's literally just star platinum. You're not going to see him here, but he is on my art Instagram, which I'll be sharing later. It's just a copy, which, you know, it's just whatever. It's the game is just all meant in good fun, and there's a couple things in design aspects that I think I did that I really like, kind of blending it in, making my own character. But I do recognize it's literally just like OC. I wouldn't say self-insert because I don't know if she really acts like me. She's a lot cooler than I am, but you know. So there's another camera angle change. Again, I do apologize. We're gonna see this a couple times. I actually zoomed in closer because I was like, well, you know, after 2 hours of working on this, I was like, this is not happening. We're gonna have to zoom in and get closer details. And then this time the battery died. So what are you gonna do? Oh no, my battery didn't die. My storage filled up. Fun. But every possible thing was working against me that it could possibly work against me, so that just kind of stung. Again, you see me going back on the skin. Like I said, the skin just looked, there was a lot of like the black mixing in, making it kind of look more gray than I would have liked. It was like a brown gray. And I didn't mind it for certain parts in the shading, but again, it just kind of made her look lumpy. A lot of the stuff that you see me do, I'm just retouching. When you're using markers on like a table or like a smooth surface like this, you kind of can be a little bit more painterly about it, which isn't particularly good because I don't think it's very good for the markers themselves. A lot of the markers end up, I think, dying a little bit faster, or maybe they're just all old, because they are. But you know, I do things like blend different colors together. I'll use that white paint marker to actually like put, like, it's acrylic paint in a tube, and then I'll kind of like lift it or move it around with my finger or the Q-tip, just to kind of give it like a more smooth transition between the markers, because obviously when you do marker you'll get streaking, and when you do marker on a table the streaks are more intense because it kind of is like a pool or a river almost, if that makes sense. There's a lot of stuff that I kind of just work on here. I think once I actually started like to re-understand how these markers worked, it wasn't as bad. It was kind of like it was kind of coming back, but it did take a lot of work. This video, I know it's only like, you know, the 14 minutes, but this was 5 hours or more of sitting, prepping, and then actually, you know, drawing and doing the painting. And then, you know, this itself was about like 4 hours of footage. So it might have been 6 hours total, you know, minus the stuff that didn't come on. But I'm really proud of how it came out in the end. It was a lot of work, but I think, I like the way it came out. So yeah, I don't really know. I think that covers the basics of what's happening. I'll kind of update what's going on as we go through. Well, you know, I hope everyone's life's going pretty well, you know. Things are obviously still crazy in the world, but, you know, we make what we can best of, just keep ourselves entertained, distracted. Lately, I've been playing a lot of Final Fantasy 14. Corey got me into that. It's been really fun. I play a little Lalafell. His name's Cha-Cha Bobo. But it's been fun playing like the little mini games and just like running around and fighting stuff, collecting things. There's just a lot of stuff to do, which is, fun for me, because once I start getting close to the end of a game, I don't want to play it because I don't want it to finish. But when there's so much content, then, you know, it's kind of fun you can just keep going. Now, you know, I'm only on the free trial, which there's a lot of limitations on that kind of suck, but, you know, it's free, so I'm not going to pay for it until I have to. But, you know, other things that have been happening. Been watching a lot of Drag Race. That's what I do. I finally watched Drag Race Thailand season 1. It's very different. If any of you guys watch regular Drag Race, it's not it's like a different show. And each kind of season kind of has their own vibes, and each country has proven to have their own kind of feel to it as well. But Thailand's very different. Like, it's completely worked in a different way. The season ending was even kind of weird. It was odd who had won. I was honestly kind of shocked, but the producer of the show, too, the one who runs the network, he literally looks like a anime villain. I'm not kidding. He looks like a pretty boy anime villain, like in real life. He's got long platinum blonde hair, and he's just like all smiley and modelly type. It is crazy. But the outfits in that, I mean, if you're for fashion or designs, art stuff, it was just so good. Oh my goodness, right here, I was panicking over the hair. I at one point realized that I was like, oh dang, this should have the galaxy design in it too, but I already made it all black. So I try really hard and attempt to make it look like the galaxy, like the rest. It's not nearly as vibrant as it is in like the main portion, because it wasn't like the color straight onto white, but I managed to get it to look like it's at least kind of flowing and continuing down, which I kind of like, because it looks like it's fading out, which is kind of what I wanted. I would have liked it for it to be, I think, a little bit more vibrant, but we're getting towards the end here though. The last little bits, I do know my camera runs out of space again, but there's only like a couple minor touches that you miss. It's mostly just me going back and forth with this white paint marker that you see here. Like, I had to keep going back, because the first time you put the white paint down, it's not as bright. It doesn't stay that bright. It tends to fade, and then it kind of changes color, and then you go back over and it gets a little bit more vibrant each time. It's probably because it's an acrylic marker pen that it does that, but it kind of usually tends to turn like a blue hue, which isn't terrible, but it tends to take away from what you're looking for if you're looking for like a nice bright white. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys who've been watching, especially if you watch the whole thing. Time lapses aren't always my thing, but as long as someone's talking, I usually think they're a little bit more entertaining, because my attention span's really short. But I know this is a little bit different. Hopefully it will continue on. We'll get to see Gilda. If you did enjoy, of course, let me know. Of course, look forward to the next video. I'm never sure what it's going to be, but it's coming soon. If you like my art actually too, there's actually another Instagram page that I have. It's at Esnon. I post art and cosplay on there. It's stuff that I feel like is more personal to me versus my other page is at Desunasis. That's my figure page. It's just figures on there. So, but yeah, again, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys all next time. Bye.